Yes, my dear friends, we are once again venturing into the wonderful world of Willow. And that's only slightly worse than the fact that I found out that oral calcium deposits were a thing today. Unless you want your day ruined, I strongly advise that you don't Google that on Google Images. Yeah, genuinely upsetting. Also, sorry about the new camera angle. I'm in the process of selling all my camera gear because I'm upgrading my camera, but I need to sell all my stuff in order to buy it. One of the first things I sold was the lens that I was using. So I don't have that lens. Then I was like, oh God, I need to film a video. Don't have the lens. So I got an old one, which is, it's an all right lens, but it's kind of close up. So sorry about that. It will be changing at some point in the future. Also, I managed to cut my neck. That's why I got a plaster on my neck. Any other questions? No? Okay, let's get started. Episode, what is it, 4? Oh, episode 4. Let's go. And right, I've got to start by talking about Warwick's acting. I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I like Warwick. I do. He's appeared in some good films over the years as well, but his act, I wouldn't call him like a mastercraft thespian. You know what I mean? He's his delivery is a little bit monotone. It's very singular. Everything he says comes out like this, and it's all of the same tone.
Can't go in. Don't you see? This is what she wants.
Yeah, his delivery is about as stiff as Crimson Jesus whenever she sees someone with a shit haircut.
Ha! Got him!
So, the whole gang are caught out in the rain. They end up, venturing into the Crone's castle. Very dark and dangerous. Anyway, while they're in there, they decide to chain up the emasculated prince because they know that he's slowly turning evil because he's been infected with the same thing that the knight was in the other episode. Anyway, while he's chained up, he then begins to explain to everyone basically the ending of the original movie where, Willow defeats Bath Bomb or whatever her name is, Bath Morda. The evil witch at the end of the film. He begins to explain that. And I mentioned this in a previous video, the fact that like the use of modern vernacular really can pull you out of the world sometimes and kind of spoils your immersion. Sometimes it does give you a reminder, that this show doesn't take itself too seriously. I will give credit where credit's due. It's garbage, don't get me wrong, but at least it's not like pretentious about it like Rings of Power was. Like Rings of Power was utter garbage and it looked down upon you. Whereas this is just like, it's garbage, but it's just like, at least it's funny though, right?
Save the world.
Wow. Then what'd you do?
We all went out and got pissed.
Fair enough. And then Princess Pinterest pipes up, completely unprompted, just to remind us that she is still here. She's learned nothing from the previous episode, and she's still astoundingly unlikable.
This is all your fault.
I'm sorry, how'd you figure that?
I blame you.
Well, that's funny, because no one asked. Literally no one asked. This was not the topic of conversation. No one was talking about this. The only reason she pops up is to blame the current situation on another character. Cool. Well, maybe I'm completely off base here. Maybe I'm completely jaded. Maybe I secretly hate all women. But what has Disney done to the female protagonist? We used to have Mulan. Who've read in recent years, though? Captain Cancer, Whack Panther, Mother of the Year. A dead person, Poolan, not long enough ago in a galaxy that isn't far enough away. Oh, and a bug. You're all about representation, but not one of you wants to represent a female character worth looking up to. Thank you, Disney. And I've got to say, for someone whose best friend just died in their arms not one episode ago, Willow seems awfully comfortable. Why is he sitting like Princess Leia in Return of the Jedi? Okay, I was joking in the last video when I said, Kit's coming for Galadriel's crown as the most disliked character in TV, but god damn if she ain't trying. So they're all in, they're all in the spooky castle. They're all basically watching the prince being slowly eaten alive from the inside out by a demon. And she's just like, yeah, this is sad and all, but like, kind of want to go look for my brother. And it's just, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, that's why they're all there, but there's not an inch of compassion within this character. And it is just impossible to like her.
And if I have to decide between saving Eric and waiting for Graydon to turn into some kind of monster.
Hey, look, maybe this is just part of the character's journey. Maybe her character arc will end up being really, really good, thanks to some highly intelligent, self-aware script writing. Or maybe not. My, my bet's on the latter, but and that's not because I'm a pessimist. That's because, I've watched enough Disney to know that, masterful subversion of expectations, it's not exactly how Disney rolls these days. And I'm actually quite surprised because we've actually got a female character sticking it to another female character. Oh, how could they? So basically, Elora tells Kit that, if she's in such a hurry to go and save her brother, she better be willing to kill the prince herself.
If Her Highness is in such a hurry to see it done, she ought to do it herself.
Which is great and all, but like, where did she find these cojones all of a sudden? Why is she talking so recklessly to the princess? She's been a bumbling kitchen maid this whole time. And like I said, now she's talking to the princess like that. It just doesn't seem like that's how her character would act. And it's not like it's the result of overcoming anything, because all she's done so far is she turned up, she got captured twice, and then she threw up on a man. Jesus, it's any wonder so many of you check up on my sanity in the comments. If any of you are interested in what it's actually like to watch this show in its entirety, then, I couldn't put it better than Willow himself.
A few moments of the most excruciating pain ever endured, probably followed by death.
So then, through some rather lazy exposition, the writers are clearly trying to paint a picture of the big bad from the original film for people like myself who've not seen the original film. They're trying to get the point across of just how like evil and scary and powerful she is. But I can't say they're doing a particularly good job.
She once changed the entire Galadorn army into pigs. There was chaos. Pigs everywhere.
Right. Okay. Well, better stay away from her then. Don't want to be turned into a farm animal.
And his fluids drained.
What kind of fluids are we draining?
Semen.
Blood.
Blood, right, yeah. That was my second guess. I don't know, I mentioned this in the previous episode, but the lightning effect is absolutely atrocious. I can't believe that the bar for practical effects these days is, do you have a flashlight? Hey, don't worry, Disney. I'm here if you need a bit of help with season 2. I'm just joking. There's not going to be a season 2.
No matter what, stay out of the high tower. It's probably a portal to the netherworld.
And, a bit of time padding is to be expected here and there with a show like this. Like that one scene that spends way too long focusing on Borman having a drink.
Sorry.
The amount of time they spend focusing on that scene, you'd think, like, oh, this must be significant in some way. This will probably play into the plot later on in the episode. Nope, not really mentioned again. Doesn't really have any impact on the plot whatsoever. I have no idea why that scene is that long. Anyway, Borman then stumbles across what I can only assume is Hitler's bunker. That's a very interesting symbol.
Oh, hello, lovely. What treasures are you hiding?
Oh, I don't know, maybe a few dozen paintings plundered from Central Europe during the 1940s, maybe. Too soon? Hey, look, maybe that symbol is something from the original film and I just don't know what it means. And, obviously it's not supposed to be what it looks like, I know, but no one on set, no one in design thought that, hey, maybe this could be misconstrued as something else. I don't know. Maybe try a slightly different design. I swear, if we see another door with 2 big S's on it, I'm going to have to start making some calls. And also, I might be missing something here, but they're inside the Crone's castle. Willow says that the Crone knows that they're there, but why they're not facing any kind of conflict. There's no danger. Is the big bad guy just kindly waiting for the plot to move forward before they launch an attack of some sort? Very considerate of them. Well, don't worry about that though, because we're back with Willow and his delivery is as masterful as ever.
Basog, Tarong, Amok. Gashog, Basog, Tarong, Amok.
I have no idea what's going on. There was this one time when I messed my ankle up and I ended up in hospital, and the guy next to me was unbelievably drunk and had suffered some sort of severe head trauma, and he was making a noise very similar to that.
So wrong.
Anyway, Kit, who was urgently, I might add, been sent to find medical supplies to help the prince, she's just taking a jaunty little stroll around the castle. No sense of urgency here. Anyway, she then starts hearing voices and finds a very interesting tapestry.
Do you renounce your name? Your family?
I do.
Will you embrace the light?
That's a very interesting hand gesture you've got going. What is going on in this episode?
All I ever wanted to be was a knight. To serve. So far, I hate it.
All I've ever wanted to be is a knight. I've been working my whole life to be a knight. It's all I've ever wanted to be. And now I've actually got the job and I have to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. This is the most millennial take on being a knight I have ever heard. Well, I would be a knight, but can't be asked. That's then followed up with some questionable advice.
You know, when my partner died, I spent a lot of time running for myself.
How'd you live with it?
You set your eyes on what you want, you go for it, and you don't look back.
Yeah, who cares if someone you love dies? Just, keep pushing forward. Keep grinding, King. Top G. Seems he gave the same advice to Willow as well, though. Because like I said, he literally watched his best friend die in his arms, and he now has to live with the fact that he could have saved him, but chose not to, and didn't, let his friend die, and he's fine. He's just chilling. He's just being chilling.
Please remove your grubby hands from my princess.
Maybe it's just because I'm getting older, but an orchestral build up to the delivery of a dramatic line, it just doesn't hit quite like it did when I was a kid. And if anything, it's just cringy.
Willow saved my life. It's my turn to save his.
How do you know where to go?
I was born here.
What was your point? I was born at North Staff's hospital. That doesn't mean I can tell you where the maternity ward is, you daft bastard. She's seen one vision of her mother, and now all of a sudden, she's a walking tom-tom. All right, then. And it's not just the writing that's juvenile. The acting, at times, is a bit pantomime. It's like I'm watching a school play.
You liars are the only two people I've been intimately close to since I had it.
When were you intimately close with Bullman? When were you? It's Nockmar trying to get in our heads and pin us against each other.
So the prince is now completely evil. He's been fully taken over by this demon thing. And he's trying to perform this ritual with Allura when he's interrupted by Willow, of course. And then the prince is like, and how are you going to stop me? And Willow is like, with my friends. And then the ghosts of what I can only assume are characters from the original movie burst through the door. And then I was like, cool. There's going to be there's actually going to be a bit of crossover between the movie and the show. They're going to use the past to help save the future. But then this.
So tell me, how will you defeat us?
Same as last time. With my friends.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, for fuck's sake, not these guys. Okay, so this episode was a bit of a shitfest. They're in this dangerous place, supposedly, but there wasn't any real danger. At no point were they in any real danger. None that they weren't in the previous episode, at least. It's just the prince being evil. We knew that before. There was this one scene where Crimson Jesus was attacked by a knight who just appeared out of nowhere. We don't know what happened to him. He just disappeared. Was never brought up again. No idea. Maybe I missed something, but this episode didn't make a whole lot of sense. They somehow managed to stumble their way towards a conclusion. I'd make a joke about it and I'd show you clips of it, but I have no idea what's going on. The writing's terrible. It really is awful. You, as the consumer, deserve better than this. You deserve much better than this. The writing is juvenile. There's no stakes to anything. Nothing really matters. There's been no decent character development yet. We're 4 hours in and there's been almost no character development. I think this is because writers like these, they like to write scenarios, not characters. So they're like, oh yeah, we want these characters to do these things, and then, yeah, cool, if that's the way you write, sound. But then that means the characters and their personalities come second to whatever message it is that you're trying to sell to an audience. This really is high school levels of writing that we're dealing with here. Like I say, you deserve better than this. With that being said, like and subscribe, you bitch. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a very good Christmas. Till the next time, I'll see you real soon. And as always, a big shout out to my top tier members, Posibon, Flunky, Jax, and Brennus. Thank you ever so much for being top tier members, and thank you very much for sticking with me. I really appreciate it, guys. And the tier 2 members, of course, Steve the Goat, Dr. Melski, Saeed, MG Virgil, Kuno Sako, Mark Maiden, Sensei Fang, Hadziu, Michael Turpia, Yonwich, and of course, the tier 1 members and patrons as well. Thank you very much, guys. Like I say, I hope you all have a great Christmas. I hope you take care of yourselves and everyone around you. There we go, another day, another video. Will you join me for the next one? You better do. You bitch. But until then, take care of yourselves. And have a great Christmas. Goodbye. Goodbye. Ho, ho, ho. I hate this TV show.